Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Here, we're about to go over Module 5. And if I can just open it up real quick, sorry about that. Alright, there we go. Module 5, Beginner Mistakes and Trading Psychology. Alright, so let's get into it. Thank you for joining once again. Here, we're about to start on Module 5, Beginner Mistakes and Trading Psychology. Really getting into the mind of a trader and what makes a good trader and what makes a bad trader. Going over all the mistakes and all the mistakes I've personally made too on my journey as a trader, especially an option trader. So let's get into it. Let me be real with you first. Before strategy, we need honesty. Most beginners don't lose because options are too hard. They lose because they treat trading like a casino. I cannot tell you how many times I've talked to people, I try to teach somebody how to trade, and they just treat it like a casino. They put all their money on one stock and just sit back and bet on it and think it's just gonna work out, and then all of a sudden they lose all their money and say, "Oh man, it's a scam. Oh, trading, it's not real. That's not a real thing. That's only for people on Wall Street or for rich people." And that's not simply not the case. A lot of people treat it as a casino. You think of it as a shortcut to money, and most people just like it, just like a casino. They use it as a dopamine hit. Because sometimes, if you're a beginner and this is your first time trading, and let's say you just make a blank random trade and you end up making money, that feel good, and you end up trying to chase that same dopamine hit again. But trading is not gambling, but trading with emotion will turn it into gambling. You're not here to gamble, you're here to train and learn. So if you just think that the stock market is something that you throw money in, just like you playing blackjack, I'm just gonna put everything on black and wish for the best. Yes, you're not taking it serious. That's not what we do as traders. If anybody tells you that's how you're supposed to do it or that what you're supposed to do, please find somebody else. They are gambling. Okay, this is something that I had trouble with my first year as a trader in general. The most common mistake is no stop loss. Unlike the casino, you can set an amount within any trade that you take of how much money you want to lose. So let's say in a trade, let's say we're trading, let's say we're in a trade, we went to a trade for $100. Excuse me, y'all. Let's say we get to a trade for $100. You can set a stop loss and say, hey, once this trade go against me, let's say $20, close me out of this trade. So that way you only lose 20 bucks, you have 80. Unlike the casino, once you put the money down there, you can't pick it up. You can't say, hey, you know what? I feel like I'm losing. If it even looks like I'm losing, close me out. Most of the time when you're gambling, it's all or nothing. But here you can control. This is called risk management. You can control how much money that you want to lose in any given trade that you enter. So, like I said, let's say that you enter a trade with $100. You can set a limit to say, hey, I only want to lose $15 in this trade. The moment if this option contract lose $15 worth of value, close me out of the trade. That's it. Too many times you don't have a stop loss. You don't want to sit there holding on to a losing trade, praying that it'll go back in your favor, sitting there, and the whole time you're losing more and more money when you could have just simply just had a stop loss. Let something, and that's the psychology part. Sometimes we don't want to close out the trade because we feel like that's a loss, or we feel like that's something like you did something wrong. Sometimes it's good just to have that stop loss there. And once it hit that, it closed you out without you having to touch anything. It frees you up. Because a lot of times I have just sat there and froze and was scared. And I'm seeing it going red and I'm losing all my money and I'm praying that it'll go back up and I'm just too scared to just close it out. So I think stop loss is the number one thing that you need if you're going to place any trade. You need to know your stop loss. You need to know what is your, funny to say, what is your loss appetite? Like, what can you stomach losing? If you in $100 trade and you can only stomach to lose $10, then set a $10 stop loss. Some people can be like, hey, I'm in this $100 trade. I'm willing to lose $20. You might have some people that say, hey, I'm willing to lose 50% of my whole trade, which is be $50. What number triggers you to the point like, okay, that is too much. I don't want to lose no more than this. Set that as your stop loss. Why people treat the markets like a casino? Because it's fast feedback. Like you get the money instantly if you do make any money. They see all the numbers. Like people treat it like it's a jackpot. Like I'm just gonna keep putting money in and eventually I'm gonna hit. And yes, you will, but you're probably gonna end up losing a lot more than you're winning. So when you finally do get that win, was it really worth it? Probably not. And like, and but the difference is casino, you have no edge. And then when you go into a casino, house always wins. Once you step foot in a casino and you're trying to win money in a casino, everything is bet against you. Everything has you as a disadvantage for you not to win. Trading, you need an edge, discipline, and math. It is like a lot of trading is simple math, and I'm gonna go into it more when we start looking at doing chart readings and understand how the numbers work. But even just creating an edge, like, and when we say the word edge, like, what is your particular strategy that helps you gain an advantage when placing your trade? What do you look at? What do you see on how good? It might be you a really good chart reader, or it might be you're really good at studying and reviewing companies, whatever your edge is, what is your advantage? And I think that would be one of the biggest helpers of any trader is figure out what is my edge, what is my advantage, what is I'm really good at. And are you good at reading candlesticks? Are you good at seeing trends? Are you really good at price action? Do you understand this company? Like whatever your advantage is, play into your strengths when it comes to trading. Also, have rules. I'm only going to enter the trade when these three conditions meet, or whatever your rules are, but you need to take time to come up with rules. Hey, I'm only going to enter this trade if this, and this happen. Also, like I said, have a stop loss, which is your exit plan. Hey, once this, and this happen, I'm going to exit my trade too. Please come up with rules. And trust me, I'm a trader. I've come up with rules and I've broken my rules plenty of times. And eventually, I stopped being hard headed and just follow my rules. They're there for a reason. Most of your rules are gonna come after you constantly losing and seeing and using the winning results to cut out all your bad habits. So please, just go ahead, follow your rules. You're gonna break them, unfortunately. I know you might be one of the few rare people that can set rules and not break them. I've been doing it for 5 years. I've gotten a whole lot better. At this point, I really don't break any rules because I've just disciplined myself. But that is part of the trading psychology is just breaking your rules because you want that win so bad. You're breaking the rules, and eventually, once you become, the more you do it, the more disciplined you become. You'll be able to help yourself out. So pretty much the five takeaways. Most losses are behavior mistakes. Pretty is what I just said. Most of the time you're losing is because it's a certain it's so easy. Like I said, you're not having a stop loss. You don't have any rules. You're treating the stock market like a casino. Those are bad habits to have. The biggest thing will be your emotions. If you somebody that is really financially tied to money, it is going to be hard for you to trade. I tell anybody before you get into trading, make sure your finances are in order first. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just regular advice. please consult an actual financial advisor. But if you just want my personal advice, make sure your finances are in order first. Make sure all your bills. Please do not trade with your rent money or the car money or with food money. Please do not trade with that. If you if you're going to trade, make sure all your bills are taken care of first. And then secondly, have some money to the side. I call this a Most people call this a rainy day fund. I call this a safety net. Have some money on the back end, just if anything happens, once you have all your finances in order, such as all the bills are paid, and you have some money set on the side for a rainy day or for any emergency, trading becomes a little less, what's the word I want to use? It becomes a little less emotional, a little less stressful because you know you got everything taken care of when it comes to the household, and you know you have some money for an emergency as well. So any other access money, you're not going to be as emotionally tied when you trying to make a trade. As we said before, no stop loss, not having a stop loss. No, just no. Have a stop loss. Don't matter what. Even if you even if you've been winning your last 30 trades with no stop loss, please use a stop loss. Because there's going to be a trade where going into the next thing, you're oversized. You have too much money into a trade and it might be a losing trade, and you just sitting there frozen because you're trying to hope that it bounce back or you break even. Please just set yourself a stop loss. And like I said, discipline is your friend. Please come up with rules and stay disciplined and stick to those rules. If you stick to your rules, you'll cut out so many losses and have a lot more big gainers. Like I said, trading is a skill. That is something that takes time, no different than playing basketball, playing football, playing any sports, whether us becoming a welder or mechanic. Trading is a skill, and it takes time to build the skill up. And everybody's skill set is different. Everybody's talent is different. Everybody's gonna grow at different speeds. But don't let that discourage you. Take your time. You want my honest opinion? If you want to be even a break even trader, which means you might win some, you might lose some, but at the end of the day, you pretty much break even. You haven't really lost a lot of money, but you also haven't won a lot of money either. I would say that it would take you probably 2.5 to 3 years to get just to break even before you even become profitable. Yes, so there's some people that just come in and become profitable. Yes, most definitely. But most people, well, you will not just come become a trader and become profitable. That's just not how things work. So that is my module 5 takeaway. Thank you so much. Just talking about simple trading, beginner mistakes and trading biology and trading psychology. I'm going to come back with a more in-depth detailed video talking about my own personal mistakes and things that I've learned in my 5 to 6 years of trading at this point, especially when it comes to option trading. Man, I have one big story about AMC that if I can go back in time, most definitely. But I'm gonna go get more into it when I talk about some of the things that I've tackled, how my psychology has changed about when it comes to not just trading, but comes to money and finance. From me just watching the stock market and being an active trader. So thank you everybody again. Thank you for joining the School Option Trading Academy. Thank you for coming to school. If you're watching this on YouTube, please come join the school community here. We you have a whole bunch of members that will help you out. And if you have any questions, you can come in the community. It's a free community. Join, ask me questions. I'll try to get back with you as frequently as I can. And I will in the future start hosting a class twice a month for free for anybody that has a question. Because I'm here for you guys. I know there's probably a lot of people that's been scammed before. I know there's a lot of people that have not probably been profitable. Like I said, I'm not here to profit you any I'm not here to promise you will make any money. I'm not here to promise you. promise you profits, be one of the trading gurus that's tell you, oh yeah, I have the best strategy for you. You want to make money. I'm just here to just take something that might be complicated and breaking it down and making it simple and just teaching the fundamentals so that way you can become a more confident trader. That is my mission, is not to make you a profitable trader, but to make you a more confident and competent trader. Meaning that any trade that you make, you have the why of why you enter that trade, and you know when and where and why you're going to exit that trade. But again, I'm going to post some more videos. Definitely having a couple videos coming through the pipeline about my personal experience and what I've gone through. So, once again, thank you all. Thank y'all for joining the Stock Option Trading Academy. Peace out.